In this nitty-gritty Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing with the 2025 National Mah Jongg League card, and we're going to be playing at I Love Mahj. Today's topic is how to test your instincts. Now, this does come with time. Building your instincts takes time. Or I should say trusting your instincts takes time, because you've got to learn the game. You've got to gain some experience, learn some strategies, and build skills before you can trust your instincts. I can give you, though, some tips on how to set yourself up for success. So that is what we're going to focus on today. And even as a new player, you can still test your instincts with limited experience. So I hope you find this episode helpful. I want to say thank you for being here with me, and thank you for sharing about MAHJLIFE with your friends, because the more confident everybody is at the table, the more fun we can all have. I also want to give a quick shout out to our channel moderators. Thank you for helping monitor the chat today. Welcome, welcome. If you are new to the game, in the live stream chat, write hashtag noob, N-O-O-B, noob. That way I know how long to spend on fundamentals and when we can jump to more advanced concepts. I like to do it on the fly based on who's here. So please share with us how long you've been playing. If you consider yourself a noob, and that's a good thing, welcome to the game if you are. Hi, Wes. Welcome. I got to bring up my very short presentation that we're going to look at, because not everybody knows about the skill builder that I'm going to share, and then also about testing your instincts and how to track your progress as you gain experience. So that's what we're going to look at here. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started with that. Not a noob, newbie here and loving all the videos. Awesome, Deborah. Okay, we're here for you, my friend. So let me get this presentation ready and then we'll jump on in. Now, Deborah and anybody else new to the game, do you have a set of tiles at home? It is helpful, but it's not necessary. You can still practice online, which is what we're going to do at I Love Mahj. Okay, Denise has been playing for about 2.5 years. Excellent. Always learning new things, watching, says Wes. Excellent. Okay, so now let me share my screen. I've got the presentation ready to go. Okay, so here we go. Test your instincts. That's what we're talking about. So I hope you're with me. If you're just joining the live stream, make sure that you click that little red dot at the bottom so that you can catch up to where we are in the live stream. And if you're watching the repost, thank you for watching these videos. Let's get started. I want to share about Charleston modeling. This is an exercise that you can do, and I highly recommend it before you play, especially in person. You could even do it before you play online if you want to, or maybe on a cold, rainy day. It's a great way to play solitaire with your own tiles. So here's how you do Charleston modeling. The first thing you have to do is deal yourself random tiles. So you're going to dump the tiles on the table, turn them all upside down, and then give yourself 13 random tiles. And you're going to look at them, just turn them over, and then arrange them like you would if you're playing the game, and identify the strength of the hand. Once you do that, then you'll be able to do Charleston modeling. With Charleston modeling, you need to set up a mock Charleston. This simulates passes from opponents when you play the game. It is not intended to be exact. It's not going to be the exact experience that you have when you play with humans, but it simulates the experience and it gives you opportunities to test your instincts and also practice decision making when you get tiles, especially unexpected combinations in a pass. So it will help minimize that feeling of being overwhelmed and can also help you get through the paralysis of analysis. So you're going to create 6 rows of 3 each to your left. I call this the incoming column. And you're going to be bringing each of the passes into your hand as you also create an outgoing column with tiles from your hand. So you'll look at your hand, and then based on the strength of the hand, choose a category to focus on, and then choose 3 tiles to pass outgoing. You'll put them to your right, and then you'll get the first incoming pass. So first right out, and then first right in, and you'll continue this through the first Charleston, which is obligatory. Everybody has to do the first Charleston. There's one exception, but we're not going to go into that right now. So you're going to see a growing column to your right. Those are your outgoing tiles, and then a dwindling column on your left. Now, once you get through the first 3 passes right across left, and then you're going to decide if you want to keep going into the second round, because that is optional. So you could stop. And if you did stop, then you're going to take 3 from your hand and put it out into the table and take the tiles you've already passed, mix them up, and then get your optional across. And that will mimic the Charleston, at least 1 round. And the reason why you want to take those used tiles is because typically the same tiles come back through in the optional across, especially. So that's what you do if you want to stop. But if you want to keep going, then you take 3 tiles out of your hand and pass to the right, and you go through the second round, just like before. And eventually you're going to have a full column of 9, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 rows of 3. So then you're going to take those and mix them up, do your final across, and then take random 3 tiles incoming. So that's how you do Charleston modeling. This is all explained in a wiki article on my website, MAHJLIFE.com. If you type skill builders in the wiki search, you'll find how to do this. So any questions about how to do Charleston modeling? Okay, and incidentally, I'm going to show you how to do this at I Love Mahj. You can do this online as well. One of the things I want to encourage you to do is to document what happens along the way for you, and as also in case you want to work with an instructor. Maybe you want to get coached. You want to get different eyes on your decision making so that you can maybe gain a little insight quicker. So when you do that, you will want to document the dealt hand and then identify a plan A and a plan B, and write down somehow what category you would focus on and what tiles you would use, and then note whether you have multiples, whether or not there are gaps in there, whether or not there are weaknesses, which would be, for example, you need a pair and you only have a single. A gap would be if you need a single and you don't have any, or maybe even you need a pung and you have none of those tiles. That would be a gap. So you want to document all those things, and then document also how many discards you have, because that's all going to help an instructor or yourself see your progress. So then at the onset, write down what you have. In this example, let me just see if I can make it bigger for you. Okay, so we have a joker, 2, 3, 4, 5 in BAMs, a 1 dot, a 6 crack, a 9 dot, white dragon, east, and west pairs. So that would be our starting dealt hand. And then the outcome was consecutive run number 2. And then you figure out how did that progress and what was plan A, plan B, and just review it and then compare from one experience to another to see if you've improved. So that's just an example of how you can document your progress. Another thing that you can do is track your position. And we're going to do that in a minute. I want to first go to I Love Mahj and show you how you can do Charleston modeling on that platform. So I'm going to bring up I Love Mahj now. Here it is. Okay, so if you log in at I Love Mahj and then go to play game launchpad or exercise room, that's how you can get to playing the game. And the exercise room is where you can build your skills. They have 5 different exercises, but we're going to just focus on Charleston modeling. I invite you to come in and check these out because all of them are going to be helpful in different ways. So I find it intuitive, and even if you're a beginner, I think you'll find it intuitive. So have no fear. Just come in and give them all a try. We're going to focus on Charleston practice, and we're going to do one round of plan A, and then we'll do another one with a plan B, and then we'll go back and I'll show you how you could track your progress in a different way. And then we'll play with robots and we'll talk through all the decision making. So here we're going to start the exercise. We're just doing the Charleston here, so we'll leave the settings where they are. Okay, so I recommend sorting by suit. This is a good way to get the initial lay of the land, identify the strength of the hand, so you have a starting point. Don't pick a hand. The goal at this point is not to pick a hand. The goal is to identify the strength of the hand and then find a category to focus on using the strength of the hand. So here we have a pair of flowers, a south pair, and then we have 5, 6, 7 in bams. We have a 1, 3, 5 in cracks, pair 3, pair 5, and then a 4, 8 in dots. If these were your tiles, what would you focus on and which category would you choose to focus on as well? So what would you target and what category would you focus on? Hello, Marilyn. Welcome. Nancy, hello. I'll give you just a few seconds to look at these tiles and tell me what you would do if these were your tiles. This is going to be an interesting one because there are a few things that we could do here. Oh, excuse me. I yawn. Why am I yawning? The day's just begun, it seems. Okay, Marilyn says odds. I can see why you would say that. Absolutely. There is some potential there, yes. Anybody else? Oh, 3s and 5s would start in odds. Odds. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we have 3 people sharing about odds. So let's see. Let's start by looking at the multiples. So we have a pair of flowers. We have pair 3 and pair 5. Now, the pair of souths, without any other wins, that pair of souths is useless. There's nothing we can do with that, with these other tiles. Nothing at all. So I would break them up. I would break them up and focus on the 3, 5. If you have multiples in your hand and some don't quite fit, choose something that you can focus on that will use most of your multiples. So in this case, it would be some kind of 3, 5 with the flowers, and the south would go away. We're just going to sacrifice the south because we can't keep all these tiles. We have to pass. So I'm going to pass a south for sure. That is a clear discard. Then I'm going to look at the rest of my tiles, and I'm going to keep tiles that I can use with 3-5 and the flowers. What I saw right away is consecutive run. We actually have a hand in here with no gaps. 3 crack, 4 dot, 5 band with flowers. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 flowers. Now I would keep the 5 crack, because if we get a 4, we could play 3, 4, 5 third hand down in mixed suits in a different way. So instead of 3 crack, 4 dot, 5 band mixed, we could play 3, 4, 5 1 suit, same line. Then the other thing that I was thinking is maybe we could play, let's see, 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, 5, 6. Whenever you're looking at a consecutive hand, you want to hold 4 numbers in a range around the multiples. So 3, 4, 5, 6 would be the range with our tiles. Now, if we get 2s, we could do 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to keep an eye open for 2s and 4s. And we could still play odds, but I would give up on the south or the south, the 7, and the 8. And I'd break up that 5, 6, 7. That 5, 6, 7 is only 3 tiles, and there's nothing else to go with it. We have no dragons, which is the second hand down under winds and dragons. And we have no, let's see, 5. Actually, we could maybe keep the 8, but we have no 9. So that's a huge gap. I'd let it go. Anytime you have a gap, let it go and focus on something that has no gaps, because that's where the strength will lie. So in this case, 3 crack, 4 dot, 5 band, third hand down on the right, or consecutive tiles would be the strength of the hand, not odds and not bigger numbers. It would be little numbers. That is leveraging the predominant pattern, and we're also maximizing our potential because we're holding most of our tiles. So any questions about this particular lineup? What I want to do before we pass, though, is look at a second option. So we could do consecutive run 3, 4, 5 of some kind, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. And then maybe a second option would be odds. So let's play consecutive run in plan A, and then we'll do odds in plan B. So odds will be our plan B. So let's pass south, 7, 8. And let's see what we get. We're going to focus on consecutive run with little numbers. We got a 2 and 8s. So let's let the 8 dot go with a south and a 6. And we're focused on 1 through 5 or 2 through 5. We'll see. We got big numbers, so we're just going to let those go. We got big numbers again, and we're just going to keep going. We've got tiles we can pass. And here's a crack, the corresponding dragon for a crack. Now there is an odd hand that could use this third hand down. We'd have to let a pair of flowers go, which is not ideal, but let's see what happens. We could also maybe play the 5th hand down under consecutive run, 1, 2, 3 dragon, no gaps there, and we could use the flowers. Okay, we got another red dragon and a 6, by the way. Oops, wrong tile. There we go. So I would let the 9 go. I would let the 6 go because we have a 1, 2, 3 here. I think what I would do, because we need one more tile to pass, you could pass blind, but I wouldn't because we're in between. Anytime you're in between, it's better to go with your strongest option and let the weaker tiles go. or the tiles for the weaker option go. So maybe we let go of the 5 bam in this case. We could still do 1, 2, 3 in one suit. I think I would just let that go. What we could do here though is maybe let the 4 dot go and keep the 5, because we might be able to do a little odd hand or maybe like numbers. Let's see what we get. Okay, we picked up a 3 and we have 3 clear discards. So we can pass 3 easily. Okay, now we look at the results now. We were focused on consecutive run intentionally, and we have a hand with no gaps. We're playing the 5th hand down under consecutive run. 1, 2, 3 dragon. Now we do have one weakness, the 1 crack. That needs to be a pair. We can't use a joker there, so we're going to need to get a 1 crack. Now we could be waiting to win with that, which is not ideal, but it is a possibility. We could keep this 5 crack and maybe play 1 crack, 3, 5 dragon, 3rd hand down, and sacrifice the flowers. So if the 1 cracks go down, we could switch to maybe that hand there. That would be a pivot from consecutive run to odds. Now, if we focus, either focus that we have here, we have 5 discards either way. If we did 1, 2, 3 dragon, we have 5 discards. If we do 1, 3, 5 dragon, we have 5 discards. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about Charleston modeling, the Charleston practice at I Love Mahj? Any questions or surprises? Was anybody surprised by the results with consecutive run? I think it was a good Charleston. We have a hand with no gaps, which is what you want. You want to have a hand with no gaps. No, not surprised. Okay. All right. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it again with the same tiles, and this time we're going to focus on odds. So we're going to replay with the same tiles. We're going to sort by suit, and we're going to hold odds. We're just going to hold all the odds. And then we'll pass, let's say, south 6-4, or maybe 6-8. Okay, here we go. So we're playing odds. Here's a 5. And this is going to create a chain reaction, because anytime you hold different tiles, your opponents are going to be reacting differently to your outgoing passes. So it's going to create a chain reaction, and we're going to get completely different tiles or variations of what we saw before. So in this case, a 5 dot never came in before. So one of the robots changed their own plan with the same tiles, unless they have different tiles. I don't know, because we can't see. So we have odds here, and we have 2 clear discards. I would not pass a pair. That's very risky, because American Mah Jongg is a game of multiples, pair pung pong. You don't want to pass multiples, because you would be giving away a gift. We cannot afford to give away any gifts. We cannot afford to be generous right now. We got to focus on our own hand. Got to be a little selfish, and that's okay when you play Mahjong, as long as you do it kindly. Okay, so now we sacrifice a tile. So we're going to look at our tiles, and we're going to figure out what to keep and what to give away. We need 1 tile. So here we have 3 multiples, the pair of flowers, then 3, 5. If this were my hand and I were playing this in real life and I wasn't doing Charleston modeling, I would still go for 3, 4, 5 mixed suit. 3 crack, 4 dot, 5 bam with the flowers. That's what I would play, because it would leverage 2 of the 3 multiples. And I don't typically pass flowers. The other thing I would consider is like numbers with 5s, now that we got that 5 dot. So probably what I would do, we have this 9 crack, which is isolated from the 1, 3, 5, 9. I would let that go. I would let that go, keep the 5s, keep the 4. The 7 band probably will be a discard. The other thing we could do, wait, why would I do that? Look, 3 crack, 4.5 band. Oh, I would totally play that third hand down on the right. Let's let the 7 go. What the heck? That is a given hand right there. Okay, so we're going to let the green dragon go. We'll let the 7 dot go. 3 crack, 4.5 bam. It's staring us right in the face. Well, let's just see what happens with odds. We have 3, 5 crack. Let's let the 5 dot go. Okay, now we have like numbers. Okay, now here is a bit of a change. 1, 3, 5 dragon, third hand down on the left. Because we're forcing hands, we're forcing a hand in odds. Let's continue, and we could actually do this again and see what happens with 3, 4, 5 mixed suit. So let's pass 4.5 band with the 8 band. And we're going to focus on 1, 3, 5 dragon. Okay, so now here's a 6, 7. We have east 4, 8. That's an easy give, but 4, 8 in one suit is a bit risky. I would let the 7 go probably, although there was a 9 crack that we gave up. Let's give away the 6. And that way we could do, if the 9 crack comes back, we could play 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and sacrifice the flowers as discards. A red dragon. And we have tiles we can pass. Okay, and going across now, we can pass 3. It's a little bit risky though. 5, 7 dragon. That's pretty risky. We have no 9 crack. I'd pass 3 and let the 7 crack go. Okay, so now let's see, how many discards do we have? We have 6. So the consecutive option was better, had a better result with 5 discards. Here we have a hand with no gaps, which is good, and it's a hand of least resistance, which means you can use any number of jokers. That's the third hand down on the left under odds. We have a pair of flowers, which incidentally are not good for a particular joker tactic. Excuse me. And then we have 4 clear discards. With the pair of flowers, that's 6. So we have a hand with no gaps, which is good, but we have a long way to go. Now, what I want to do, because I keep wanting to play 3, 4, 5, I want to see what happens with that hand. So let's do it. I got to take a sip here in my throat. I think I have a little cold. Okay, so what I was thinking is 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, no gaps. I would still keep the 1 and the 5. So sorry. Okay, now let's let the 8 dot go. Okay, no keepers, and we have tiles we can pass. Let's see, I would keep the 8 dot and pass the 8 bam, because that way we can do 6, 8, and 2 suits. Oh, hold on one second. I need to go get some cough drops. Okay. We got a keeper, 3 crack, maybe. We'll see. We've got tiles we can pass. Okay, we got a red dragon, and I would keep it. We did get a 2 dot, but it's not very helpful. I would definitely continue. So we're going to pass 6, 9, and then we'll give up a tile, the 2 dot. That doesn't really fit. And we picked up a 6 crack, not helpful. There's the keeper. We have 2 clear discards. We could do 1, 3, 5 dragon or 3, 4, 5 flower. And that's what I would do. 3, 4, 5 flower. I would let the dragon go, and I would let this 1 crack go. Okay, we have dragons, 1 bam. I would pass 3. I would let the 1 bam go, the dragon, and the 5 crack. Okay, so we have 6 discards. So this was similar to the second round that we did. So the first option, consecutive run with a broad approach, had the best results, which proves how the game works. It's by design. Stay flexible, stay adaptive, focus on a category, not a particular hand, gather for the trend with the tiles coming in. And that's how you set yourself up for success. Any questions about Charleston modeling? I want to share another way for you to track your progress, and it has to do with position at the table. And it's kind of a visual that you have to create in your head. It's not about where you're sitting. It's a visualization of where you are based on the strength of your hand and the results that you see as the game evolves. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to talk about how to measure results. Because if you don't watch your progress, if you don't monitor your decision making and the results that you have based on your decision making, it's going to be a long road to haul. If you watch your results, track your results, or maybe even get some coaching, it's going to shorten your learning curve. I guarantee it. It will shorten your learning curve. That is a guarantee. If you get other eyes on what you're doing, you will gain insight. So you got to find a good coach. So let me show you now how you can track your results. So here we have, after the Charleston, consecutive run of some kind, and we have maybe consecutive run 3-1 with, let's say, 1 crack. Let me see, would it be 1 crack, 2.3 bam? We could do 3, 4, 5. You could do 3, 4, 5 in 1 suit. So you could do mixed suit or 1 suit. So that whole line you could potentially do. You could also do number 4. You could do 3, 4, 5 in bams, or let's see, it would actually be 1, 2, 3 in cracks, 4.5 bam. That would be the 4th hand down, or you could do the 6th hand down with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6th hand down, 1, 2, 3. So you could do, now wait, that's not the right one. I think it would be the 7th hand down, not the 6th hand down. Maybe it would be that run where there's a pair in there, because you've got 3 3s in here. You could do 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe pick up a 1 or a 6 and then gather 3s. It's a long shot. But the idea here is you're spread way too thin. You have a whole lot of discards. If you have more than 4 discards, you're going to be an underdog. You're going to have a long road to haul. So you want to put yourself in a position that helps you figure out how much risk you can take in the game. And that's the purpose of your figuring out your position. So here we would be an underdog. We have way too many options, too many discards. So now here's another option or another hand to look at. We're playing a year hand, news with the year. Now this, I need to update this for this year. Let's just pretend that's a 5. So we have the second hand from the bottom under the Wind and Dragon category. We have 5 discards. So we would again be an underdog because we have more than 4 discards. Here's another option, 7, 8, 9. We could maybe play the concealed hand. We have 3 discards, and really this 7 dot is extra, but we have a gap, no flowers. So we would actually be an underdog here until we get the flower. Then we would be a contender, because not having a flower means that you have a gap. Anytime you have a gap, consider yourself to be an underdog. So if we had a flower, we would be a contender because we would only have 3 discards. Actually, we have 4 because that 7 dot for this year's card, we need single 7s. Okay, then we have odds, the first odd hand, and we have 4 discards. This is a good example of being a contender. Actually, this year, the 9 is a pair. So we would be, again, an underdog because we would have 5 discards. So the idea is the fewer discards you have, the better your position. Here we have 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 crack. We have 3 discards plus a pair we don't need, but we might get a joker out of that. You could be a front runner if this hand develops quickly. So let's just go to the game and I'll talk through how to determine your position. So just remember, underdog is more than 4 discards, contender is 4 discards, and then front runner is fewer than 4 discards. So if you're an underdog, you take a low risk approach. If you're a contender, you can take more risk, but you don't want to push super hard until you gain strength. Then if you're a front runner, you push to win regardless of risk. So let me share my screen and we'll go play with robots. All right, here we go. So now we're playing with robots and we're going to identify the strength of the hand. We're going to choose a category to focus on. We're going to look at our options and go with the strongest one. And then we'll identify our position and take relative risk as the game evolves. So this will be a good one because we have what I call a wide spread. This is when you have no multiples. You have all single tiles. We have a joker flower, north green, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 in BAMs, 4, 6, 7, 8 in cracks, and a 6 dot. If these were your tiles, which category would you focus on and why? I know what I would do, and I know what a lot of people would do here. There's one particular hand that's a favorite this year, and I know someone's going to bring it up. Which category would you focus on with these tiles? I don't see anybody offering a suggestion, so I'm going to share what I would do. I would play consecutive run 5 through 8. 5 through 8. I knew someone was going to talk 2, 4, 6, 8. There is potential there, but the strength is with 5, 6, 7, 8 because we've got 3 6s and 2 8s, and we have 5, 7. We even have a 4. There's 1, 2, and 1, 4. That's why I wouldn't pick 2, 4, 6, 8, but we could keep both. We could keep 2, 4, 6, 8, and we could focus on consecutive run. And then when we get a multiple, that's when we make a choice. So we're in between consecutive run and evens. So let's see what we get. We picked up a 2 bam. So that points to evens. We have 2 clear discards. So now is when we sacrifice a keeper, because right now we have all keepers. But the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand is not really gelling yet. We have a 2 bam pair, 6, 8, no 4 bam. We have 2 6s, a 4, and an 8 crack. I think what I would do if these were my tiles is I would let the 5 bam go and still hold 6, 7, 8. Okay, now 6 crack pair. We have a 5, 6. So we have 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, no gaps. 2, 4, 6, 8. We do have some 2, 4, 6, 8, but we have no 4 bam. So really that 2 bam pair is not very helpful. So if we just pull that off, look at all the 5, 6, 7, 8 we have. That's what I would play. I'd let the 2 go and focus on 6, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. So with a 6, 8, I think what I would do here is probably let the 8 dot go and focus on 6, 7, 8, or maybe like numbers with 6s. Okay, we got a 5 bam, and we can keep going. 2 bam, north green. 5 bam came in. Now we have north and south. Now here, I would not pass this. That's really risky. So at the moment, we have 5, 6 bam, 6, 7, 8 crack, 5, 6 dot, 5, 6, 5, 6. We might even be able to play a pair hand. I would let this 8 bam go. 5, 6 crack, 6, 7, 8. Let's see here. 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. I'd let the 5 dot go because I wouldn't want to pass. We still have 3 6s in here. We have 5, 6 pairs. So clearly consecutive run is going to be the way to go. But I would not pass north and south. That would be really risky. Now, we could maybe keep the 5s and the north-south, but we have no 5 crack. That's a gap. So I would just let that go. Okay, we did get an 8 back, and then we have discards. I'd let the 8 dot go. There's a gap between 6, 8 dot, so it's really not useful. What we really want in here is maybe a 4 dot or a 7 dot. Well, there it is. So here's a hand. 5 bam, 6 crack, 7 dot. I would still keep consecutive tiles. 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. We have 6, 7 crack, 6, 7 dot, 6 bam. We have tiles we can pass. Okay, we got a 5 dot. And we have 2 discards and then a run of 5 through 8. And I wouldn't pick a hand. We could pick a hand though. We do have a hand with no gaps, five bam, 6 crack, 7 dot. So that would be my focus, and I would wait and see what develops. There is some potential for the concealed hand if we can get a 5 crack, but that would be a long shot. Flower 268. I'm not sure when that comment, oh, that must have been a while ago. Okay, so we're going to throw 2 crack. There was 2468 in there, 2 crack 468, but we would have to throw away a pair. I would not do that. I would leverage the pair. Okay, we don't need that west. Don't need one at all. Okay, so 7, 8 crack are out. We got to keep an eye on that. Red dragon. We might be able to switch to like numbers with 6s. Okay, 7 bam came in. This is where I was thinking we could do 5, 6, 7, or we could even play the pair hand. 5, 6, 7 concealed. Let's let the 8 crack go. We could maybe play the concealed hand, or 5 bam, 6 crack, 7 dot. Mixed suit. Well, now we could maybe play 1 suit or the concealed hand. With 5, 7, 6 pairs, I think I would let the dragon go. And probably I would focus on the concealed hand. Maybe let that 5 go. We're in between all 3 suits at the moment. We could maybe even sacrifice the joker and play the 6, 7 pair hand. That would be a pair for the concealed hand, or for the pair hand, of course. Okay, now there's a 6 bam. So I would just keep these together. Look at the trend. 5, 6, 7 pairs. Now here we have 5, 6, 7 no gaps with that run. So since we have no 5 crack and it hasn't gone down, I think what I would do is let the 7 go and focus on 5, 6, 7 here. We could still do maybe 5, 6, 7 in 1 suit. We could do 5, 6, 7 in mixed suits, but this one is stronger. Even though there is a 7 bam out. Don't need red. Don't need west. Okay, so that would be a Kong for us if we play the 3rd hand down on the right and we're not ready to claim a discard for it. So we have to just let it go. Joker. Okay, so this is where I would decide we're just going to let this 6 crack go because there's a 7 dot out. I would just let it go and focus on 1 suit or the concealed hand if we get the 6 dot, because we need a pair there. That would be a pair for us with either hand, 3rd hand down on the left or the concealed hand. Now 2 6 dots are out. That is a pair for the concealed hand. Okay, now that could be a good opportunity to pivot. 5th hand down, 5 bam, 6 bam, 7 bam. So we wouldn't need the flower, but we could pung pung We could Kong and Pung. So we're set. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. I'm thinking the hand below it. We need pair 5, Pung 6, Kong 7, Pung Dragon. I think that is the strongest option now. So watch for trends that come in. Even one tile could put you on a new path. We need a flower. Don't need a dragon. There's one. Okay, so now we have no weaknesses. We are ready to Pung the 6, Kong the 7, Pung the dragon. There is a dragon out. There is a 7 bam out. So it's a good thing we've got jokers. Let's see. Let's let the 5 go. Wow. There's a keeper. We're one away from ready. Okay, now this is not out yet. I would play to win. Okay. Huh. Our tiles, where are they? We're getting down to the wire here. Okay, 3 crack. This is going to be a little risky too. This could be a winner for this player on the right. Okay, no. Red dragon is out. 5 dot is out. Okay, nobody wanted the 6 dot. All right, wall game. Now, who had our tiles? Stinkers. Let's see, we needed the dragon. Oh, okay. They're doing like numbers with dragons across from us. And the player to our left had the 7 bam. But we got very close, one away from ready. I think that was a good hand. Okay, so let's play one more game. All right, now here we have another widespread. Widespread. One thing you could do when you have a widespread is look for like numbers. We've got 2 1s, 2 2s, and 3 8s. 3 8s, 2 2s, no 4, no 6. I would focus on the 2s because we could do maybe a 1-2 hand or a year hand. So I would probably let 7 8 9 go, but let's just see. I want to just move these over a minute. Let's just put this flower here. So we could do either some kind of a 1-2 hand or maybe a year hand. So either focus on the 1s with the 2s or the 5 with the 2s. We could even do like numbers. If we focused on 7 8 9, look, we would have, we're kind of in between because we could do 8s with like numbers or 2s with like numbers. We could even do 1s with like numbers. Either way, the 9 and the 7 can go. So I would sacrifice a tile, the 5. Either the 5 or the 1. The 1. Let's let the 1 go. Because now we could maybe do like numbers with 2s, like numbers with 8s, or a year hand. So we're in between categories at the moment. I would not consider evens right now. So let's see what we get. We got 1s, or we got a 1. So now we have our first multiple. So this is where you reassess. So this now is the strength of the hand, or it should drive your decision. One crack pair. So I would hold 1, 2, and I would hold the dragons. I would hold the 2. With a 1 crack, I'd probably hold this 5 in case we get little odds, and I'd let the 7, 8 go. All right, we picked up a 2. So now we have 1, 2. We have tiles we can pass. We don't have to pick a hand. Maybe what we could do is keep the 6 and let the 5 go. No, I don't want to do that. Because we could do a year hand and sacrifice the 1. You could maybe do 2, 4, 6, 8, but we have no 4. That's a gap. Okay, no keepers. So we can just let those go. And no keepers here either. Okay, now here we picked up a 3. 1, 2, 3 of some kind. We have discards. 6, 7, 8 is a little risky. 1, 2, 3, year hand, maybe 2s, year hand. This 3, I would rather let the 3 go and not pass 6, 7. Okay, we did get a 1 bam, not quite helpful. I'd let it go and pass fully. Okay, let's see what we get. No keepers. Okay, we're an underdog. So we're an underdog because we're in between. We have too many options. So let's just see what happens. We're going to gather. We're not going to pick a hand. And we're just going to gather keepers. We need keepers. 2s are going down. A white dragon is down. Okay, here's another pair for us, a 5. What can you do with 2s and 5s? A year hand. That's probably what I'd focus on. But we don't need to pick a hand yet because we still have discards. So we're just going to wait.
9, 7.
Just be patient. We're going to keep the 3. Maybe we could do a little odd hand. Or we have 1, 2, 3 of some kind. There's a 4. Let's keep it. Ooh, quint. Okay, there's another pair. Dragon. I think the 3 bam could go since we have no other 3. And I'd let that 4 go. So we have 1, 2 dragon. No 3. 3 crack is out. 1, 2, 3. Third hand down on the left. Don't need 6. We could still maybe play a year hand. So the 2 dot went out. Here's a joker. We still have a discard before we have to pick a hand. And now the 2 crack, we could call it for a pung or kong, but I wouldn't because we don't even know what hand we're playing. Now, one thing we could do is play a gap hand. 1, 2, 3 dragon, and maybe switch to defense if we never get a 3. We're a little bit stuck, but we do have a joker that we can use for the 3. We could pung the 2, pung the dragon. We've got our pair. We're at 74 tiles remaining. With a pung of 2s, we could still maybe play a year hand. So I would call it. And then discard the 4. So we're still in between 1, 2, 3 gap hand or maybe a year hand. The 2 dots are going down. There's the flower. I'd go for 1, 2, 3 dragon, gap hand, or defense. Just block. Especially with a quint at the table. Okay, now there's a joker. We need to kong a 3. Don't need 5. We need a 3 crack or another joker. Okay, that's a pair for us. Okay, let's let this 5 bam go and see if we can get a joker. No. All right, we'll let that go next. Okay, we're going to pong. This is the 5th hand down. We're playing a gap hand. We need a 3 crack. But even if we get one more joker, we can do it. It's risky. Oh my goodness. We're already on a 3 crack. Thank goodness for jokers. We need a 3 crack. What? Oh, wrong suit. No. Oh no. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to throw a flower now. Oh, who kept our 3? Over here. Why would they keep a 3? Oh, that's a terrible hand. Kurt, shame on you. 3 crack with 8s over here to the right. They're playing a gap hand. Well, we were playing a gap hand too. They all had 3s. Maybe they were playing defense against us. That's what happens when you have multiple exposures out. People can figure out what you're playing. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you try Charleston modeling at I Love Mahj so that you can test your instincts. If you have questions, look for a link in the video description below to the skill builder page where it explains how to do Charleston modeling if you forget. The bots are collaborating. It's a conspiracy. Are you talking about collusion? Yeah, these robots, they are formidable. Formidable bots. But it's all in fun. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be back for another episode of the Learning Lab Player Edition. Join me again at 1 o'clock for another hour of gameplay with commentary if you're free. These are all recorded, so you could watch them in the repost if you're not able to attend live. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Also, if you would like to try I Love Mahj, there's a link in the video description below for this. You can do a 3-week trial if you use MAHJLIFE as your promo code. And if you were to get a subscription, I would get a small commission, and I would appreciate that. That would help the MAHJLIFE YouTube channel very much. So thank you very much for joining me in this live stream. We'll see you again later this week, and have a great day. Play lots of Mahjong and enjoy yourself. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.